Hey babies, welcome back to another Affinity video. I just woke up at 3 a.m. to play in this modern tournament that starts at 4, so I'm very tired and my roommate's asleep, so I thought it'd be funny to try to do like an ASMR format video. I'm playing mostly the same list as I have been recently, except I'm playing a 3-3 split of the dual lands, because I figure it makes it a little bit more likely that I can activate AOI or Might. And hopefully I won't run into a situation where I can't re-equip cranial plating when I really need to, but we'll see. Here's the tournament countdown, just so you know, it starts at 4:05. Honestly, I probably shouldn't be playing on this little sleep. But the qualifiers don't cost actual money, they use qualifier points that you can't really use for anything else. So I figure it's a waste not to. Either way, I've been practicing a lot with Affinity this weekend, so hopefully that'll make up for my lack of sleep. And hopefully you guys also find this kind of entertaining content. Even though obviously I don't usually make ASMR videos and it's kind of a gag. Alright, I'll see you in the games. Alright, round 1, here we go. I'm playing against a Kuldotha deck. Unfortunately, I don't have 2 lands, so I'm gonna mulligan this one. My opponent's also on the play. Alright, this hand is reasonable. I'm gonna get rid of Gingerbread because it's rather vulnerable early in the game. And since I have a cranial plating, I may want to get Gingerbread as a surprise hitter off of Urza Saga later. So let's keep. Based on the current hand, I'm most likely getting Springleaf Drum with Saga to play Thought Monitor, but we'll see. Opponent plays Mishra's Bauble. Cracks at targeting themselves. Spicy. Scalding Tarn. Makes me think it's probably like the... Probably Grixis Shadow. Opponent thought seizes us. Probably Shadow. Shadow can be tricky because sometimes they play main deck dress downs. It's a little less popular now to do that. Second Thought Monitor, not exactly what we needed, but not a bad card either. Let's just play Darksteel Citadel and pass. Opponent goes down to 13 and plays Ledger Shredder. Okay. Well, luckily we don't really have anything to play anyway, so we're not triggering that. I'm gonna get rid of my upkeep stop. I have it on since I was playing Oops All Spells last night. Misfault Bridge. Let's play Saga. Pass. Bridge gives us a second blue option apart from Saga, so that's something at least. Let's see what our opponent does here. Expressive Iteration, okay. Getting a Blood Crypt. I assume this is like Shock and Blood Crypt, play Death Shadow. Well, I guess they would have triggered Ledger Shredder and played it main phase if they were going to do that. Let's just play Vault and go. I think they would have played a Death Shadow if they had one in hand. But it plays a Bloodstained Mire. Hits us for 1. They have 5 cards in hand. Let's see if this eats a bolt. I think it's pretty likely. It does not. We draw a Relic. Interesting. Let's make another construct. Dress down. Yes, no. Fatal Bush. Bush. Okay, so we're not getting blown out by a dress down at least. They go Unholy Heat and Fatal Bush to get rid of both the constructs. That's fine. What do we want to get? I'm gonna play Mistfall Bridge this turn. I could play out Relic by playing Frogmite first, but that exposes Frogmite to removal. And it also triggers their Ledger Shredder, making it possible that they have a faster clock on us. If I go Springleaf Drum, Mistfall Bridge, I have 4 artifacts. Next turn, I get to draw a card, maybe make another land drop up to 5. And then I can go Frogmite, Monitor, Monitor. I think I like that plan. Let's just go Springleaf Drum, Mistfall Bridge, go. I don't want to speed up their clock on us since the 1/3 is relatively slow on its own. But it plays Mishra's Bauble. They have 3 cards in hand. I assume they're going to go for a Connive trigger here. They decide they don't like what's on top of their deck. They go down to 8, getting a Steam Fence. They might also just put like Jegantha in their hand here. I guess we'll see. They don't do anything. Okay. Weird. We draw an Urza Saga. That's nice to see. So let's lead on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's lead on. What do I want to lead on? Cranial Plating or Relic? I don't think it really matters. But it could. Let's lead on Relic. 5. Play Saga. Okay. Play Cranial Plating. I feel like if they have a counterspell, they're going to try to use it here. If they drown in the lock, I could save my Cranial Plating by popping Relic in response. They do not do that. Okay. Let's play out Frogmite. Let's play Thought Monitor. See if they counter it. They do not. I don't know what's in my opponent's hand, but whatever it is, it can't be good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In case they have like a Kolaghan's Command or something, I'm going to go ahead and play out Sojourner's Companion. I just want to dump as many things onto the board as possible while I'm already out from under the Connive trigger. Also, by the way, they discarded a land again. Ledger Shredder still has not grown. I can't believe how lucky I've been so far with that. We draw 2 more cards. Midnight, Cranial Plating in hand. That's hilarious. I'm going to go ahead and play out the Midnight. Because apparently anything that I play could be a gigantic threat with these Cranial Platings. And let's just pass. Opponent has 4 cards in hand, 5 cards after they draw for a turn. Let's see if they can get themselves out of this. We have double black, so we could do the Cranial Plating thing if we want to. Opponent plays DRC. I hope they tap out or something. That'd be pretty funny. Terminate on Sojo. I don't understand targeting Sojo there because they don't have any creatures on the ground. So that doesn't seem like the right move unless they have like a Death Shadow that they're trying to clear the way for. But it discards Spell Pierce. Or they surveil Spell Pierce. Yeah, they discarded the Spell Pierce with Ledger Shredder. And they surveilled this Golden Turn into their graveyard. My opponent's been flooding out pretty hard for what I assume is like a 19 land deck. Alright, there's a Blood Crypt on top of my opponent's deck. So they could have Bolt or Fatal Bush. line this up to where our opponent's dead for sure. We draw a Tangleable Bridge. So what I have to do here is play out my land, of course. Pop Relic, get rid of flying here. Put Cranial Plating on Thought Monitor. I still have black up. Attack with both the Thought Monitors. Let's pop Relic first. They should not have a way to activate Delirium again with just one card. Plating up on Monitor. Go to combat. Attack, attack. And I'll just attack with the Frogmite too, to be safe, I guess. Well, they could kill Memnite and then block, so I'd rather not. I'll remember if the mana keeps floating throughout combat phases or if it empties out. Right, the Unholy Heat, the Monitor that's platinged up, that makes sense. Pretty sure that means that our opponent's dead. John the Lot goes to the graveyard. We saw that one coming. Wait till blockers just to be sure. And plating. Hooray. Busted ass instant speed equipments. Alright. What do we want to bring in? They probably have engineered explosives, so let's bring in Pithing Needle. I think that might be it, honestly. Because I like Nettle Cyst better here than against Murktide decks. Let's get rid of Haywire Might. I think there's an argument for me just siding the same way that I do against Murktide, which would be bringing in both the Metallic Rebukes and cutting Nettle Cyst and Gingerbrute. But I think both of these cards can be pretty valuable here. It's a little less likely that they're going to counterspell my Nettle Cyst and get tempo from it like with Murktide. And having a big guy with an XX butt is really good against shadows sometimes. So let's just do it like this. Alright, we don't have any land, so we have to mulligan. Not the most exciting hand, but I'll keep it. My opponent's keeping 7. Let's ditch. Do I want to ditch a land? Or maybe Ornithopter? I guess if I really need another land, I can turn Sojourner's Companion into it. So let's get rid of Tangleable Bridge. I'm relatively likely to draw another land within the first few turns anyway. Opponent plays Land Go, love to see it. There's the other land that we were talking about. Let's play out Welding Jar. Mistfall Bridge. Getting the Welding Jar out of our hand in case they play Shredder on turn 2. Since they didn't have a threat on turn 1, it's pretty likely that they have either Ledger Shredder or Shadows in their hand. They didn't shock themselves with Watery Grave, so maybe they don't have Shadows. They go down to 17 with Steam Fence and play Ledger Shredder, yep. Mishra's Bauble, Shredder Connives. Putting Polluted Delta into their graveyard. They target us with Mishra's Bauble. So let's keep in mind that our opponent knows what we just drew. Let's see what it was. Thoughtcast. Well, I can just go ahead and play that this turn. I'm not going to play out the Ornithopter so they can't connive here. Those are some good cards. If our opponent goes Shields down again, I think I can go, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I could potentially go Patchwork Automaton and just like dump my hand. as I sequence it right, they might not be able to counter any of it either. So let's see what they have. Ledger Shredder, so they're going to be getting double connive triggers. But I think I have to go for it because of how powerful that hand is. Alright, cross your fingers for me. The patchwork should be hard for them to kill, but they might be able to dress down and kill it. They could take like a whole turn off and kill it for 3 mana. And that's kind of fine. They get rid of Death Shadow. Interesting. I thought they would have wanted Death Shadow to help deal with that. They get rid of 2 Death Shadows. Okay. I really don't want them to bolt this monitor in response to the draw trigger so I can still play Sojo. Please resolve. Please resolve. They might have Mystical Dispute. We'll see, I guess. Down to 14. And... shit. Alright. No, I can't pay 3. Alright. So we have to pass. They got to connive a couple times. That's a little annoying. They have 3 cards in hand, 4 cards after they draw for turn. They go to combat. Attack for 4. I will not be blocking, of course. I kind of want to draw an untapped land so I can do Thoughtcast and then also Cranial Plating. They can drown in the lock X2 now, so they might be able to deal with the Cranial Plating. Let's lead on plating, make them have it. It resolves. Play Sojourner's Companion, opponent connives twice. Ragavan and Bloodstained Mire to the graveyard. Sojo hits the field. Play another Sojourner's Companion. Alright, let's make our opponent use some removal. Damn, that's a big ass boy. Damn, that's a big ass boy. Alright, attack for 15. They could still have K command and get rid of Cranial Plating that way. But I feel like they would have used a K command earlier if they had it. They play Terminate. I can't regenerate from that. That's pretty annoying, actually. It does make them take their whole turn off to do that. But that's still very unfortunate. Alright, we'll pass. Opponent has 2 cards in hand, 3 turns after they draw for turn. 3 cards after they draw for turn, rather. I still think that I'm in a pretty good spot. The 5 damage a turn from Shredders is kind of scary now. If I draw an untapped land, that's pretty sweet. But we'll see what happens. It looks like they were thinking about playing Expressive Iteration there. Are they only attacking for 3? Okay. They might not have removal, I think is what that means. Alright, they don't do anything. We draw Darksteel Citadel. Let's... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So either of these is lethal with the plating. I don't think I want to do the re-equip plating thing yet. I think I want a Thoughtcast here. Let's see if they have a counterspell for it. They do not. Urza Saga is an interesting draw also. Let's go ahead and play that out. It means that the companions aren't lethal with plating here, but they're still very, very scary, so I think they still go for the removal on them. And they're not attacking anyway. I'm not going to play out Springleaf Drum because I want this to be an X4. Dress down, okay. I'm glad that they're cashing in this dress down while I have an Urza Saga in play still. They block. They must not have removal. Or at least they might have Drown in the Locks that they can't hit our 7-drops with. Alright, opponent goes down to 9. This does not have the Connive trigger anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and play out Springleaf Drum. And then I'm going to move the plating onto Ornithopter. Well, do I want to move the... Yeah, I'm going to move the plating onto Ornithopter. It'll be easier for them to remove, but I'm still fine if they just use a removal spell on Ornithopter, and then I can Welding Jar it if I need to. Probably not going to Welding Jar just because I want to keep that to protect cranial plating at this point, I think. But we'll see what happens. You never know until you're there. Fatal Push. Yeah, that makes sense. Shredder Connives. And Ornithopter goes bye-bye. I have exactly enough mana for next turn to play Darksteel Citadel, plating up Sojourner's Companion, make a construct, and then use the construct to re-equip Cranial Plating onto the other one. And we saw last turn that they didn't have appropriate removal for Sojourner's Companion yet. They did get to draw a couple new cards afterward. 3, I think, total because of Mishra's Bauble, 1 Connive, and their card for turn. So maybe they have something now. They thought sees us. Okay. Maybe that means they have a Death Shadow. They only have 1 card in hand, though. They're going to have 2 once they draw off of Bauble. They keep the 4/6 back. Interesting. Because they kept Ledger Shredder. Well, there's a Ginger Brute. That makes me hopeful for next turn. They have 2 cards in hand. So if I attack, I guess I'm hoping that they block the big boy with Ledger Shredder, and then I'm fine with them trading. If they use removal here and then block here, then I plating onto it, and then they have to use removal again, otherwise they trade for Shredder. Yeah, let's still attack. Hopefully this gets whatever removal they do have out of their hand, and then I can kill them with Ginger Brute next turn. Unholy Heat. That's a little annoying. I am going to go ahead and Welding Jar, though. Just because of how hard it is for them to remove these 7-drops. I have 6 cards in my graveyard right now, so they might actually be able to Drown in the Lock one of them soon, but we'll see. If they go for a block, I'm going to make a construct. They might have Drown in the Lock in response, or not Drown in the Lock, they might have Dress Down. Yeah, goddammit, okay. So they get a Connive, and they kill the Sojourner's Companion here, along with killing the first construct. They have 0 cards in hand. They draw 1 off of Dress Down. Okay, so at least they connived with 0 cards in hand. That's something, I guess. That went about as awry as it could have, though. Do I want to keep the gingerbread in my hand as a surprise? I think so. Alright. I should not be able to die here unless my opponent has, like, exactly bolt, and then connives a non-land into the graveyard. So let's see what they have. I think I probably get Aether Spellbomb off of Urza's Saga and just get rid of the blocker. I might get Relic. I can make a construct. I still have 3 mana. That's enough to go Gingerbrute, equip plating to it, and then make it unblockable. But then I'm not doing anything else. They cashed in 2 dress downs already, 3 dress downs actually. So I probably don't have to worry about dress down anymore, I hope. But we'll see. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. What you got, opponent? Expressive Iteration, it looks like. Ledger Shredder, okay. 1 card in my opponent's hand. Please play it. Engineered Explosives on 0. I think that means I win. I didn't see them use a bobble or anything. They should be out of cards. So Gingerbread steals the game. They're attacking for 6, so I could also just get Shadow Spear. Well, Shadow Spear I don't think quite kills them because of the blocker, but Gingerbread definitely kills them. Make sure I'm not seeing anything, not missing anything from the graveyard. It doesn't look like it. 0 cards in hand. Okay. Gingerbread time. He's a speedy boy. Hooray. Alright. Well, that went better than I expected for how little sleep I'm on. I'll see you in the next game. Alright, round 2. I won the die roll, so I'm gonna take the play. This hand is reasonable. We have a Thoughtcast to refuel, a Patchwork, it grows a little bit. It's not the most exciting hand, but I think it's kind of fine. Like, I'd keep it as a 6, I think. So let's keep it. Alright, let's go. Tinkable Bridge, pass. Our opponent kept 7. Let's see what we're up against. Opponent plays Scalding Tarn and cracks it. Getting a mountain. Playing Darcy, okay. Interesting. Basic mountain into DRC makes me think Prowess, maybe. I can still just go Patchwork, pass. I think that's kind of fine. They shouldn't be able to kill the Patchwork Automaton if I do that. If I go Patchwork Ornithopter, I could also possibly block DRC. Let's just go Patchy Pass, I think. Well, playing out Ornithopter doesn't really cost me anything since I can still play any of these. So let's do that. Hopefully they don't have a way to kill the Patchwork Automaton. If they have like a Fury, then I'm in trouble, but I doubt that they're playing that. Voldarn Epicure. Okay, so it looks like we're playing against the Whack deck, actually. So having boots on the ground was a good idea for me. This is going to be a bit of a tricky matchup because of how aggressive they are. Let's play Thoughtcast, see what we get. I'd really like to find a way to get Lifelink. Nettlecyst is okay. Let's play out Relic. Frogmite. Frogmite. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and start attacking, actually. Let's attack for 5. Pressure our opponent a bit. If they make a big board, I might start leaving this back to block with, but we'll see what happens. Opponent draws a card with the blood, getting rid of a Bloodstained Mire. They play Spire Bluff Canal. Okay, now I'm still unsure. Because I don't think I've seen the Whack deck playing Spire Bluff Canal before, but they are playing Whack. This is so weird. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't quite have lethal either way. I don't think I want to block with Ornithopter. I think I want to block like this. Either Spell Bomb, interesting. Well, I can still just keep back Nettlecyst to block with. Is it worth playing out Spell Bomb? I don't think so. I think I'd rather hold up the Relic activation. Let's attack for 6. Opponent goes down to 8. Hopefully we just have this game from here from being aggressive. Alright, cool. I am a little concerned because I'm not sure exactly what our opponent's playing because of the blue splash. I like bringing in Haywire Might in this matchup because it can block, trade for a creature, and gain some life without much fuss. It's possible that Aether Spellbomb is good here if they're playing the big dinosaur guy, but otherwise it might not be. I like Relic because we saw the DRCs. I think I cut Nettlecyst since it's a little on the slow side, bring in both the Haywire Mites, and cut... what? Maybe I cut one of the relics, so that way I can still get it if I need it to deal with Darcy. I don't think I want to cut Welding Jar, but maybe there's an argument for that too. Let's cut one relic. see green mana at all, which makes me think it might be fine to get rid of Spell Bomb instead of Relic. Let's do that. If I need the Spell Bomb, I'll bring it back. But like Spell Bombing Bushwhackers obviously is bad, and then Spell Bombing like a single token, basically using 2 mana to get rid of a 1/1 or a 2/1 that it might be for a turn. Seems like a really bad idea. It seems really bad tempo-wise. Also, because they're playing Dorsey, they might be playing like a weird Bushwhack / Prowess hybrid. So they might have more Graveyard Matter stuff, I don't know. Hopefully I never figure it out and they just lose. Alright, this hand has 2 lands, one of them Saga, Springleaf Drum, Patchwork Automaton, Shadow Spear, and Thoughtcast. This hand seems great. I'm gonna keep it. Opponent plays Folder and Epicure on turn 1. We draw a land. I could go turn 1 Saga, Springleaf Drum, but I think it's pretty likely that they have artifact removal immediately because one of the rebirth cards can target your opponent's artifacts. And I could also just go turn 1 Darksteel Citadel, Springleaf Drum, go. If they blow up the Springleaf Drum, that's fine. I can just play Patchwork Ornithopter the next turn. Or if we get the Springleaf Drum to stay, I can go Patchwork Ornithopter and then either Shadow Spear or Thoughtcast, which seems really good. So let's do that. And then I can still make constructs to block with later. I don't think I want to run out the Shadow Spear until I can connect with it, though, because I want to at least gain some life. But it plays Castle Embereth, Metamorphose. Alright, we might be in danger, depending on what they can do immediately. Gleeful Demolition, okay. That was the card I was talking about that can blow up your opponent's artifacts. Let's go Patchwork Automaton, Ornithopter. So the argument for playing Shadow Spear is that Patchwork becomes a 3/3. And then I can block sort of unimpeded. If I play Thoughtcast, I have 51 cards in my deck. 8 of them are 0-drop artifacts. 4 more of those are Frogmites, so I might still be able to play another free spell. I think I'm leaning towards playing Thoughtcast here. Shit. Alright. I didn't get to grow the Patchy again, which is a little disappointing. There's a Bushwhacker. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage is being represented right now. Unfortunately, I think I just have to let it through. So do I want to make a construct or do I want to play an equipped Shadow Spear? But it has 3 cards in hand. I think I probably need the Shadow Spear to happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I can deal 13 damage this turn, which isn't quite lethal. Let's play Shadow Spear. Play Thought Monitor. Hopefully get some free spells here, so I have more blockers. equip Shadow Spear onto Patchwork Automaton and just kind of bank on them not having removal spell for it. It does at least cost them 3 mana and then they're not doing anything else. If they remove the Patchwork, that is. Alright. Let's hope for the best. I just have to pass here. And then hopefully, like if they tap out to kill Patchwork Automaton, they might have Burn to kill us, we'll see, but Mimknight, 2 cards in my opponent's hand. Kuldotha Rebirth. Do they have another whack? They don't have another whack. Interesting. I think they would have removed the Patchwork there if they had the removal for it. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a mana. They could still have removal for Shadow Spear, maybe, so I might want to get Welding Jar for that. But I no longer think they have removal for Patchwork Automaton. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's play Welding Jar. Play Haywire Might, grow Patchy. Is Gleeful Demolition an instant? It's a sorcery. Play Springleaf Drum. Alright, no whammies. No whammies, no whammies, all doubles. Equip Cranial Plating to Patchwork Automaton. Alright. Swing for the moon. This isn't quite lethal on them, but if I connect, I'm gonna gain 20, and I think I just win from there anyway. Yay! Alright, I never figured out the blue mana. I'm fine with that. Fuck, this whack deck is hard as hell to beat because of the Gleeful Demolitions. Alright, never mind, my opponent's nice. I love their deck. Their deck is sweet. Alright, I'm slightly less tired, but still kind of running on empty here. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, round 3, we won the die roll, so I'm going to take the play. Does my opponent... This must be bugging out. Alright, my opponent's playing a Jegantha deck. I have no lands, so easy mulligan. Oh my god. Gingerbread and Springleaf Drum is not going to get there. Second mulligan. Opponent's keeping 7. 1, 2, 3. We're definitely getting rid of Gingerbread. I think I get rid of Frogmite too and just keep Patchy, Springleaf Drum, Plating. I think there's an argument for keeping Patchwork, Frogmite, Plating. But I think I like the Springleaf Drum better here. Definitely getting rid of you. Yeah, let's do that. Bridge go. And let's see what our opponent's on. Battle plays Arid Mesa, Mishra's Bauble. Maybe Jeskai Breach. They target themselves with Bauble and they decide they like what's on top of their deck. We draw another Cranial Plating, not exactly what we were looking for, but okay. Let's play out Patchwork Automaton. I think the draw that I most want is Urza Saga, because I could go Plating, equip, and then have another threat coming up with Urza Saga too. Opponent plays Fiery Islet. They have Izzet mana so far. Did they target me or them? They targeted me with that Mishra's Bauble, so they know what my draw is here. Opponent still hasn't done anything really. Let's play out a couple of springs. counter it. That's kind of fine since I have another one. Okay, it goes through. They might remove my Patchwork Automaton on their turn 3. And then I'm really just playing off top decks. Double plating means that pretty much everything is a giant threat, at least. Alright, they don't have removal here. They go for Expressive Iteration. I'm wondering what it is that made my opponent keep this hand. Because if they're playing the deck that I think they're playing, they should have like Ragavans and Darcys, and probably also Ledger Shredders. They didn't have a counterspell or any removal. I guess they could have removal, but they didn't play it this turn if it's a bolt. They might have Unholy Heat. Or like Prismatic Ending. Lava Dart. Yikes. Alright, what does Lava Dart mean for me? It means that I want to grow this Patchwork Automaton as much as possible. Let's play Springleaf Drum. Do I want to play out the Midnight? I think I probably do. 4, 5. Just because it's another big threat with Cranial Plating. They can remove it with Lava Dart, but that would cost them a land, and that's kind of fine. Alright. So it looks like we're playing against a Prowess deck. Again, I don't really know why they would keep a no creature hand. What you got, opponent? Lava Dart, that's fine. Again, the Midnight was kind of dead in the water anyway, so I'm glad that I just used it as a +1/+1 for Patchwork Automaton there. I don't think they have Unholy Heat. They can't double bolt this. What can they do? They can Vapor Snag, okay. So now Lava Darts can kill Patchwork Automaton unless I draw an Ornithopter like that. Now I can go Patchwork Automaton, Ornithopter to grow it, and then Cranial Plating to bring it up to a 3/3. So they have to bolt this now to kill it. And Ornithopter needs another bolt so that they're not dead. And then at that point, they've lost a lot of tempo. I'm still playing off top decks, but it's kind of fine. So we'll see what happens. I have 2 lethal threats. They have 5 mana. They crack Wooded Foothills down to 5. Is this draw with Fire Expressive Iteration? Okay, that gives me hope. Because now they can remove Patchwork, but they can't remove Ornithopter yet unless they use both of their Lava Darts. And then they're losing 2 lands to kill an Ornithopter, which is kind of hilarious. But it plays Darcy, Soulscar Mage, so they need to use removal on Ornithopter. Okay, well there's a Shadow Spear. What does Shadow Spear mean for me? If I play Shadow Spear, this goes up to a 4. I don't have quite enough mana to equip both that and Cranial Plating. I think I want to bring it up to 4. If I play Shadow Spear and I attack with Patchwork, they can double Lava Dart, Ornithopter, block, and then I'm trading Patchwork for something, which is a bad deal. So now I'm wondering if I let them keep the Darcy. I'm definitely casting Shadow Spear, but what I'm doing after that, I'm not sure. I could attack with Ornithopter, force them to block with Dragon Rage Channeler. The thing is that DRC is already going to die soon anyway, or isn't going to be able to block at least. So I'm not convinced convinced that that's a good idea. I think I'd rather let them have the surveil and keep the Ornithopter since I'm kind of choked on creatures right now. The Ornithopter with double plating is very valuable. Let's play Shadow Spear. I could put Shadow Spear onto Ornithopter, which would force them to use a removal spell on Ornithopter now. I think Patchwork having a 4-ass is already valuable enough that they're probably not going to be able to remove it, at least easily. They have 4 cards in hand. If I put Shadow Spear on Ornithopter, I also kind of want to use my mana this turn to put Cranial Plating on Patchwork, which kind of complicates things. Is there a way that I'm dead this turn is my question. That would fucking suck. I'm at 19, I mean I doubt it. They get double prowess triggers. I think I might have to put the Shadow Spear on Patchwork Automaton to give it trample now. Let's do that. And I'm just gonna pass. I'm not forcing them to use the Lava Darts yet, which is kind of a downside. But if I didn't draw land or a free creature, I wouldn't be able to put both Shadow Spear and Plating on Patchwork next turn, which would be a huge issue. They bolt Ornithopter, okay. So they would have had the bolt in response to Shadow Spear anyway. That doesn't actually make them play differently. I thought they would have used the Lava Darts on it though, because Lava Darts are so bad against Patchwork Automaton. Alright, let's see what our opponent has, I guess. They need land, bolt, bolt to kill Patchwork here. Which they might have, but they already used the lightning bolt, which is kind of confusing. Maybe they have another Vapors and Ag. I guess that's possible. That would be really annoying. Underworld Breach. Yeah, they have a Vapors and Ag. Shit. Okay. They could. Is it possible that they just kill me here with the Breach? They can play Mishra's Bauble a bunch of times. And Manamorphose. That's kind of scary. I guess we'll see what they do. They haven't played a land yet. So they might draw land with Manamorphose. Yeah, there's Vapors and Ag. Or 2, okay. Opponent's at 3. My X1s are pretty bad because of Lava Dart. At least I can say the way I played out the last turn doesn't really affect anything since they had what they needed either way. I wonder if they have a way to kill me here. They have 2 Lava Darts that essentially deal 2 damage each. And they replace themselves in the graveyard. cast Mishra's Bauble some amount of times. If they use both the lava darts, I'm hoping to draw like Gingerbread. I feel like they're not going to use both the lava darts because Patchwork is still in my hand. But we'll see. Mutagenic growth. Okay, that might kill me. Good lord. I wonder if I should have attacked last turn with the Patchwork Automaton. Maybe that's what I needed to do, just gain some life. Cash in to kill either Darcy or Soulscar Mage. The issue is that they would have just been able to recover their board and then they can Underworld Breach without even having to play the Vapor Snag off of it. So they would have a lot more mana, they would just play the creature back out. So, no, I don't think that's right. They can't Mutagenic Growth a bunch of times since they're at 3, so that's something at least. They hit us for 6, it looks like. Right. We go to 10. They draw 2 cards. We draw a Darksteel Citadel, not exciting. Very sad. Shit. Let's play Patchy. Do I put Shadow Spear on it and just hope for the best? I mean, I assume they just have Burn to kill me, right? Let's just put Cranial Plating on. That way, hopefully, they at least have to dedicate some mana to the Patchwork Automaton. But unfortunately, I think I'm just dead here. Monastery Swift Spear, okay. Manamorphose, okay. They have double Lava Dart. They can spend 3 mana Lava Dart here. And they can Lava Dart my face and kill me. I'll make them do it, I guess, but I assume they know how to play their deck. Underworld Breach, Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, I mean, if they're going to keep showing me cards, I'm going to let them surveil at least. I might be able to see some more creatures that I don't know about. It kind of sucks that I wound up losing this game since they had such a non-ideal start. But it happens, I guess. Now they can just bolt me twice. Yeah. F6. And it's GG. Very sad. Alright. What do I want to bring in? I like Grafdigger's Cage. And I like both the Tormod's Grips. Let's cut. Gingerbread's not great against them. X1s are kind of bad, and a lot of their stuff has haste. So let's cut that. Nettlecyst is a little on the slow side. And I think we cut Haywire Might also. Unlike the whack deck, pretty much all their creatures are either flying or have a 2-but. So Haywire Might doesn't do much. It could kill like Underworld Breach, but by the time that Breach is in play, they have a bunch of instants in their graveyard, so it doesn't really matter. So let's cut Haywire Might. I think there might be an argument for bringing in Soulless Jailer, but I also think that's a little bit too deep. And just playing a 0-4 and not making a clock can be an issue for us, so I'd rather play a little slim. Let's run it back like this. Alright, we'll take the play for game 2. But it still has Jegantha, that makes sense. This hand has a bunch of 0 drops and nothing to do with it, so let's mulligan. shit. I'm gonna mulligan down to 5. Alright, what's the last card that I keep here? I think it's either Sojourner's Companion or Thoughtcast. Maybe I don't want to keep the Tormod's Crypt. If I don't keep the Tormod's Crypt, I could keep Sojourner's Companion to get a second land. The issue is that Mimnite is so bad that I kind of want the Thoughtcast. I think I'm definitely putting Shadow Spear on the bottom because Saga can get that for me. I think Thoughtcast gives me my best option, my best chance of making constructs, but if I keep Thoughtcast, I have to keep Tormod's Crypt. I'm definitely keeping this hand, putting Shadow Spear on the bottom. And let's put Companion on the bottom as well. So I'm hoping to draw an untapped land on turn 2. And I'm hoping that they don't have removal for the Springleaf Drum. Because just making constructs quickly, I think, is my best chance to win here. Darcy, okay. Mishra's Bauble, okay. I definitely need to Thoughtcast this turn if I don't draw land, though. Alright, opponent knows what my top deck is. Let's see what it was. It was Ornithopter. Okay, not bad. Let's play Tormod's Crypt, Ornithopter, Mimnite, Thoughtcast, land. Yes, we found a land, okay. So they have to have double removal spell for these guys, which is possible that they have that, but I can hope. And then we'll see what happens on the next turn. Darcy. Looks like they're only going to have one removal spell. Oh my god. Okay. Whoa, they kept a one-lander. Yes! Okay, we draw Frogmite. Let's make a dork. Normally, I would want to get Shadow Spear here, but since we have Thought Monitor and since they missed a land drop, I want to press the advantage and get Springleaf Drum. I'm not going to attack with Mimnite because we saw that they have Mutagenic Growth in their deck. Mistfall Bridge, Frogmite. Do I keep the Tormod's Crypt in my hand or do I wait? I think I'd rather wait on the Crypt. Alright, they missed a land drop. Let's see if they found one with Bauble in their draw for turn. Alright, they didn't. Okay. Alright, let's do that again, maybe with less mulliganing though. Run it back. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to hear the birds. They're probably going to get a little annoying soon. But I guess, I don't know. Yeah. I have to keep the decibel filter off to whisper like this. I tried whispering with the normal decibel filter on, but you could only make out like some of my words. So I figure for the real ASMR experience, maybe this is the right way to do it. I guess it does capture it being 6 in the morning now that there's birds outside. It's a whole audio experience. This is less of a gameplay video and more of a, damn it, I have to mulligan again. This is more like an art piece. let's mulligan. Jesus Christ. I'm almost tempted to keep it, but because of Treasure Vault, I think it's a little bit too likely that they just have removal. How much did they mulligan last game? Actually, I want to check. They kept 7 last game on a 1-lander, so they might be keeping 7 again with a 1-lander. Alright, let's mulligan to 5. Jesus. I don't want to go any deeper. This is kind of brutal, though, I gotta say. Like, I don't think I can win off of 4. Even with an Urza Saga start. So I think I just have to hope that I draw land here. I don't know if Patchwork is worth keeping or not. Maybe I keep all the 1-drops, the land, and the Thought Monitor so that I can hopefully slam Thought Monitor early. I think that's a decent plan, at least as far as bad options go. So if I draw land, I can go turn 1 Springleaf Drum or Relic, and then turn 2 play the other 2. Opponent plays Darcy. They have 5 cards left in hand. They didn't play Bauble. We did find a second land. That's something. Alright, do I want to play Relic or Springleaf Drum here? I think I want to play Springleaf Drum. In case I draw a 0-drop creature next turn. It makes it a little bit better. There's definitely an argument for playing out the Relic just to keep their graveyard kind of small. They play Wear. Alright, that's annoying. So we're looking for another land yet again. I can get at least 1 construct, probably, though. Let's see what happens. We draw Thoughtcast. That's a little disappointing. Alright, second Urza Saga. Watch them play a Blood Moon. I'm gonna be very sad. Play Relic. Target you. I think I have to play out the Shadow Spear instead of popping Relic. There's an argument for popping the Relic to just draw a card there. Alright, what you got, opponent? Soulscar Mage, okay. Second Soulscar Mage, 3 cards in my opponent's hand. Land, come on. Ornithopter, that's close. Let's go ahead and Relic you. Ornithopter means we can get a construct or cast one of these. Because we didn't find a land. We're definitely getting Springleaf Drum. Because we're so far behind. And they almost certainly have removal anyway. I think I have to use a Thoughtcast here to try to draw another land. Because I just kind of have to high roll at this point. Shit, okay. Do I pop Relic or do I play Cranial Blading out? Let's play Cranial Blading. I want to increase the odds of me being able to play Thought Monitor soon. They almost certainly have removal for Ornithopter now. Maybe removal for Springleaf Drum as well. That'd be kind of the nightmare scenario. They didn't play Blood Moon last turn at least, so that's something. But that also means that they don't have a bunch of lands in their hand, so we could just be dead if they have a bunch of burn spells. But it depends on what they are, I guess. Definitely low-rolled the mulligan situation this matchup, but it happens. That's the thing about Magic, even if you play your deck perfectly well, things can go awry. They hit us for 4 and that's it? What? What? One, two. What? Alright. That was shocking. Let's get Springleaf Drum. Alright, I'm gonna make the exact same mistake I did last time. Watch this. I'm gonna play Thought Monitor and try to get a land. So, again, the issue is that I'm very far behind, and I don't have any mana now, so if they have enough creatures, or if they have enough creature removal, my guys are just gonna die. I do have the option of just playing out Ornithopter and like equipping Plating, but that's not really enough. So let's play second Ornithopter. Play Thought Monitor. Draw a couple cards. Fuck. Alright. Play a second Thought Monitor. Draw a couple more cards. Grafdigger's Cage. We found the Darksteel Citadel finally. But it's at 17. We don't have any blue mana. The Grafdigger's Cage is kind of a hat on a hat at this point. I might pop Relic this turn, I think. Let's put Cranial Plating on you. I think I just swing this turn and pop Cranial Plating. Deal some damage. I'd like to find a blocker here, but we'll see what happens. Found a land, that's fine. Alright, we still might be dead to just them playing spells. But we've at least sort of established a board now. So we'll see what happens. This has been a really weird game so far. I would have loved to draw some of the 4/4s to play off a Thought Monitor there. Just so we have a little bit more to like get in the way of the Soulscar Mages, but we'll see what happens. I anticipate that if they don't remove it, I'm going to be blocking Sprite Dragon with Thought Monitor here just to stay safe. The Darcy at least is guaranteed just one because of the Tormod's Crypt. They have 3 cards in hand, I'm at 14. They play where? What are they targeting? Cranial Plating, okay. That makes me think that I'm not dead here. Opponent's in 5. They surveil away a Soulscar Mage. Is there a way that I die here if I don't block? They did that during their upkeep. Okay, so they were looking for land. I didn't even notice that. So they do have 3 cards in hand. I assume they missed their land drop. They go to combat. Okay. They attack for 4. I think I have to let it through. So worst case scenario, they have 3 mutagenic growths. That would deal 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I don't think they have 3 mutagenic growths. I'm gonna let it through. Alright. Let's see what we draw. Tanglebull Bridge. Let's start with the Thought Casts, see if we get more information. Thought Monitor Treasure Vaults, okay. Let's go. Thought Monitor. Free creatures, please. Mimknight, that's a free creature, I guess. We're gonna equip up a Thought Monitor. So hopefully they don't have mutagenic growth. That would be bad with the Sprite Dragon. But we're gonna attack for 5 and force them to block or at least do something. And then after that I'll play the Mimknight out. Alright. Sprite Dragon down, opponent's at 2. Let's play Mimknight. We have 2, possibly 3 lethal threats. We're at 13, our opponent. Let's see if they found a land. They've got to be stuck with like expressive iterations or maybe like Blood Moons in their hand. Because I feel like they would be playing bolts if they had them. I don't know what's in my opponent's hand. I'm gonna have to ask after this if they don't reveal. I don't want to say anything now though because I might mess something up or like give away information. Please, I want the 3-0. Come on. My opponent being in the tank at least gives me some hope. They also could have like Underworld Breaches in their hand maybe. They don't have any flying blockers right now, so that's something at least. I might put Shadow Spear on Ornithopter and attack with both the Thought Monitors and Ornithopter, because then they have to remove both the monitors. And then if they tap the mana to remove a monitor, I can kill them with Ornithopter. Alright. I have to jump block here just in case. I think. And the Memnite's not really doing anything on the ground anyway. Alright, we're not dead yet. We're at 12. Opponent has 4 cards in hand. They have still not found a third land, which is fine by me. Alright. Move over Shadow Spear. Go to combat. I think we win now. Because them going to 1 basically destroys the Fiery Islet. Alright, they have a Bolt. They get rid of 1 Thought Monitor. They had an Underworld Breach on top of their deck that they get rid of. That makes sense. If they get Delirium, I can Tormod Script away their graveyard so they can't block. Did I get it? Please. They can't play Gut Shot. I'm not really afraid of any free spells. Alright, they're at 1. They still don't have Delirium. Ornithopter picking in for 1 for the win, please. Yes! GG's. That was a stressful ass game. Okay, well I didn't expect that. 2 mulligans to 5. Can you believe that I was able to win against Prowess with that? I got very lucky drawing a bunch of Thought Monitors there, holy shit. And also having my opponent get stuck without anything, basically. Wow, alright. I'll see you in the next one. I will see you in the next one. Alright, round 4. My opponent is on the play, they're mulliganing to 6. This hand, I kind of feel like I have to keep. I can play Thoughtcast on turn 1. But if I do that, the patchwork is a little bit worse, so I hope I draw land. But I think between the patchwork giving me a decent claw, K-Wire might be, maybe being interaction, and then Thoughtcast to refuel, that this is pretty keepable. I get blown out pretty hard by like Grief Scam taking Springleaf Drum. But I just kind of have to hope that that doesn't happen, I think. You can't really keep hands based on whether you can survive double Thoughtseize. So, let's keep. If I draw a second land, I think I just go Springleaf Drum on turn 1, and then wait until turn 2 to go Patchwork. Put the 0 drops in Thoughtcast. Springleaf Drum off of Seagrum Ghost. Probably Hammertime then. We draw Frogmite. Let's play the turn 1 Thoughtcasts based on what we've seen so far. Hey, Wiremite should be good this matchup. I'm gonna go ahead and play out Welding Jar in case they play Esper Sentinel. I didn't find much off of that Thoughtcast, which is a little disappointing. Opponent plays Ornithopter. I'd love to find an Ursa Saga. Opponent plays Stoneforge Mystic. They haven't played a land yet. Are they getting Colossus Hammer or Cauldra Complete? They get Cauldra. Alright, sweet. So they're on their B plan and we can deal with that with Haywire. They missed a land drop. That's kind of sweet too. We find Shadow Spear. If I had an Ursa Saga, I think I might be tempted to Haywire Might away the Springleaf Drum. established yet, I don't think. So I think I'd rather just go Patchy Frogmite here. Start growing the Patchwork Automaton. Pass. I assume they're just gonna wait and play Cauldra this turn. We draw an island. Interesting. Let's play Relic. Okay. I'm not gonna attack in. Maybe I do attack in, but I just play Haywire Mite first. And then at end of their turn, I can pop Relic at the end of their turn. I think I like that plan. That way I can start attacking immediately. They still didn't hit a land drop, which is interesting. Let's attack for 6. What do they have? What the fuck? Why are they playing the Cauldra out? What's gone now? Either way. Alright, opponent takes 6. I have 2 blockers just in case I need it. And I'm at 22. They're at 14. They find a land. Okay. They've got to have like Pure Steel Paladin or something else. Otherwise, I don't think they would have kept. Yeah, they have Pure Steel. And Giver of Runes. No Colossus Hammer yet. I think they would have played it if they had it. Ornithopter, okay. Do I just go Shadowspear Ornithopter and attack in again? I think I do. Once I have free mana, I'll use the Relic, but I'll wait until then. In the meantime, I can gain some life for free and beat in. I'm attacking for 9 this turn, so they have to at least start thinking about blocking soon. Giver of Runes means that Frogmite is about to be stonewalled, but Patchwork can still get in with Trample. Alright. I guess technically I should have Relic'd them last turn, but I don't think they have anything that interacts with their graveyard. Alright, their draw for turn was Urza's Saga. They play Esper Sentinel. I think that means that they don't have a hammer. They have Sigarda's Aid. Okay. Are they dead? They might be. Alright, let's Relic you just because. Alright, so I have 7, 8, 9, 10 that I'm attacking in with. The Shadowspear definitely stays on Patchwork, so they can't jump block. Ornithopter means this goes up to 8. They have... We need to deal 4 damage. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's pop Relic first. We draw Memnite. Interesting. 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can attack with Frogmite, Memnite, Patchwork. Patchwork has a 9 ass, which means unless they block with everything, I'm getting in for 3. They could go block Memnite with Stoneforge, with, let's say they block Memnite with Giver of Runes. They block Frogmite with Esper Sentinel. Then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're still taking 3. They can protect something. I think I have to attack with the Memnite just to make them block as awkwardly as possible. And I can regenerate the Memnite if I need to, I guess, with Welding Jar. Alright, cool. Well, that went surprisingly well. I think they gotta survive that turn but I don't think they would have been able to keep going after that. Let's bring in Metallic Rebukes. And also 2 Haywire Mites and a Pithing Needle. Let's cut both the relics, they do basically nothing. Got Welding Jar, they don't have destroy-based removal. And also Welding Jar is really bad against Esper Sentinel in this situation. I don't like Patchy that much here, despite the fact that I did well last game. Because usually the constructs or cranial plating or nettle cyst is what's necessary to deal with their stuff after it gets equipped. Let's cut 1 Thoughtcast and Gingerbrute. Run it like that. Alright, cross your fingers for me. This hand is so medium. But it's mulliganing to 6. 1, 2. Aether Spellbomb I like. Thoughtcast I like. This hand's a little on the underwhelming side. I think I want to keep it though. Opponent goes to 5. Maybe my opponent will just mulligan to death, and then I'll be able to Spellbomb away their only threat. That'd be cool too. But we'll see. Alright. What you got, opponent? Flooded Strand. 4 cards in their hand. Cracking Flooded Strand. 4. A Plains. And Sigarda's Aid. Ornithopter. Okay. We draw Treasure Vault. So we're going to play out Ornithopter. We're going to play out Tanglepool Bridge. If they attack in with Ornithopter, I'm going to block with mine. So that we're definitely not dead here. And I assume they're going to put a hammer on their Ornithopter, maybe 2. And then I can Spellbomb this away. Alright. They could have Spell Pierce here, that would be kind of a nightmare. Either Spellbomb. Alright, I think we're Gucci. They could have Blacksmith Skill, that's the main thing that could fuck us up here. I'm gonna go ahead and do this now. Alright, cool. Alright, now we just have to punish them for mulliganing so much and put a clock on the board before they kill us. If they draw another hammer at some point, that could be pretty bad. We draw Shadow Spear. Let's play Thoughtcast. We draw Springleaf Drum and an Island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I just have to trust that they don't have another hammer here. They might, though. But we'll see. Let's attack. No hammer, no hammer, no hammer, no hammer, no hammer, no hammer, no hammer. Come on. Fuck, they have a hammer. God damn it. Fuck. Alright, we really want to draw a Haywire Mite now. I'm going to take the 10 here. If they have another hammer, I'll just go to Jesus, I guess. Alright, they didn't have Shadow Spear or hammer. We draw Haywire Mite. We drew the Haywire Mite. That's something. Okay. Okay. They didn't have Blacksmith Skill a couple turns ago, so I'm just going to go ahead and use this on their hammer now. Please die. Please be dead, opponent. That'd be sick as fuck. Alright. There's less hammers now. Shields down.
What you got, opponent? They have 2 mana. They march away the spear. That's a little annoying. They have 1 card left in hand. I think I just have to start swinging for the fences. I'm not dead to a single hammer hitting me. I'm dead to 2. Opponent plays a land. They drew that for turn. I assume they still have nothing. Go to combat. Attack with both. They take 4. Play Frogmite. End of their turn, I'll pop Treasure Vault to get a couple treasures to increase my artifact count and make it a little bit easier to have double black in case I draw Cranial Plating. They drew Springleaf Drum for turn. I don't know what their last card in hand is. It's not a blacksmith skill, and it's definitely not a hammer. Maybe it's like a Spell Pierce? I don't remember if they could have Spell Pierced the Shadow Spear or not. I think they would have done that if they could have. Maybe they drew the Cauldra. That would make sense. Alright, let's make some treasures. Untap. We draw Springleaf Drum, not super exciting. I think I'm just going to keep it in hand and pretend like I have a counterspell, because it doesn't really do anything to the board at this point. Opponent takes 6. They're at 3. So now they're in a spot where they have to draw something because they can block Sojourner's Companion and still take 3. Come on. Give it to me. Yay. Alright. Wow, we're 4-0. Okay. Maybe I need to play tired and whispering into the microphone a bit more often. Hopefully the whispering thing isn't like annoying. I'm a little anxious about that. Hopefully it's just funny. But either way, I will see you in round 5. Hopefully we can keep it up. Alright, round 5. We won the die roll, so I'm going to take the play. My opponent's playing a Jegantha as a companion. I don't have any lands, so let's mulligan. This seems like a reasonable hand. We're definitely keeping both the lands. I think I keep Sojourner's Companion. I think I keep Patchy. Opponent's also mulliganing to 6. So the real question is if I want Cranial Plating or both of the possibly interactive cards. I'm definitely keeping. I think I'm leaning towards putting Might on the bottom. Hopefully this isn't like the Jegantha Amulet deck or something, but we'll see. Generally, Relic is going to be applicable to more things. And also, it's harder for our opponents to just get rid of it. Alright, let's go Tangleable Bridge, pass. Let's see what our opponent's playing. They go Flooded Strand. Okay. And pass. We draw Mistfelt Bridge. Interesting. Do I want to just play another tapped land and Relic? Or do I want to play Patchy out with Urza Saga here? I think I'm leaning Patchwork. I might not get 2 constructs off of the Saga, but it means that I get Patchy down and can establish a clock. And then I also get to tutor a little bit earlier, which might make a difference. But we'll see. Hollowed Fountain, okay. It looks like we're finally playing against the Jeskai deck that I thought we were playing against when we had Shadow as our matchup. And also that I thought we were playing against when we had Prowess as our matchup. So we'll see. Alright, Ledger Shredder. Makes sense. I'd love to draw an untapped land to make a construct here. Opponent has Delirium already. We draw Aether Spellbomb. Okay. Interesting. I can go Relic and hold it up. I could cycle Sojourner's Companion for land, which doesn't seem that bad. And then play Relic. I kind of like that plan. The main issue is that might cause me to flood. Although I don't think I'm going to get Springleaf Drum with this Saga, I'm probably going to go for either Shadow Spear or another Relic since I already have Aether Spellbomb. I don't want to let them connive. And I want to start interacting with their graveyards so they don't get to do a gigantic Underworld Breach turn, just completely uninterrupted. They might take their turn off essentially to remove Patchwork Automaton here. We'll see what happens. They are doing that. Fine by me. Hopefully, this construct is going to be a little hard for them to remove. If I get a second Relic, I can Relic them twice. And then that definitely takes them off of Delirium, I think. At least for a time being. If I get Springleaf Drum, I have a Relic that I can pop. But then I'm kind of flooding. If I get Welding Jar, that protects me from their Delirium-based removal. But they can still Prismatic End away the construct. I think I go for Relic here. Relic U. Relic U. Play Bridge. Alright. They still have Delirium, I'm an idiot. Alright. Do they have Unholy Heat? They have Expressive Iteration. They're looking for Unholy Heat, or they could be looking for Prismatic Ending, but they didn't keep a white up. So maybe they're trying to get a land drop off of it too. Alright. It's not Prismatic Ending. Let's see if they have Unholy Heat. God damn it. Okay. That's a little annoying. We need to find a threat. We have Cranial Plating, which is need creatures, basically. I'm probably gonna pop a Relic to draw a card, in case I draw an Urza Saga here. They had Prismatic Ending in their hand, interesting. And they got rid of it. Wonder what that means. We draw Midnight, okay. If I let them connive here, how deep of doo-doo am I in? I think I still want to pop Relic, so I'll probably let them connive first. Let's go. Springleaf Drum. Midnight, let our opponent connive. Pop Relic. Draw another Springleaf Drum. Play Cranial Plating. I think this deck only plays one Prismatic Ending. In the main deck, at least. They might have more, but we'll see.
Expressive iteration, okay. I might use Ether Spellbomb to just buy some time and bounce the Ledger Shredder. I assume Memnite's gonna eat it here. But we'll see what happens. They might also just play a Ragavan to block with. And I wouldn't bounce the Ragavan because the Cranial Plating isn't really lethal yet anyway. Lightning Bolt, okay, that removes Memnite, I assume. Let's go ahead and eat a card from their graveyard. Opponent gets an island. Opponent has a second prismatic ending. That's a little annoying. Okay. I would love to draw Thought Monitor. That could make a big difference here. We're just taking so much damage is the issue. Nettle Cyst. Okay. That'll do. That'll do big. I don't want to let them connive, and I want to keep the mana up for Relic. Hopefully now they don't have any more prismatic endings. I know I keep saying that, but we'll see. We've seen 2 lightning bolts, so it's unlikely that they can kill us with burn here. Technically it's possible though. Yeah. If they could double lightning bolt and hit us for 6 with the Shredder, we're dead. They bobble to connive. Okay. What you got, opponent? If they keep not having more creatures to play, that's great for us. Because I might be able to spellbomb away their Shredder. Underworld Breach. Have they already played a land this turn? 6, 7, 8, 9. I think even if they haven't, I have to pop here. That's annoying. They probably have. I feel like they probably have Unholy Heat that they're going to use in response to me popping Relic. But I think I just have to go for it anyway. Maybe they're not. Okay. They have 2 cards in hand. They dash Ragavan. 6, 7, 8. Alright. I'm at 2. Do they have a bolt? God damn it. Fuck. That's annoying. That was pretty odd though, I gotta say. Alright, let's bring in Soulless Jailer. Let's bring in Pithing Needle. Let's bring in Grafdigger's Cage. What do we want to cut? I think Haywire Might is a pretty easy cut. Gingerbrew probably comes out as well. I don't like Welding Jar much here since they are mostly going to be either bouncing or exiling things, I think. And maybe I cut Nettle Cyst, just because they're probably playing Spell Pierces. And it seems kind of bad. Patchy seems good as long as I can actually get it past bolt range. I definitely want Shadow Spear. You never side out any of the drums. I want Memnites to deal with Ragavan. Yeah, let's get rid of Nettle Cyst. Try it like that. I'll take the play. Alright, cross your fingers for me. I want to keep this winning streak up as long as possible. Ah, shit. Alright, we can play Mistfall Bridge on 1. On turn 2, I can play these guys, I guess. That doesn't seem good enough. I'm kind of banking on drawing a second land, so let's mulligan. Oh my god. Alright, we're going down to 5. No lands here. I mean, I'm keeping, I guess. I think I have to get rid of both the platings. Keeping Ornithopter, Springleaf Drum, and the Sojo. Hopefully I can draw either an Urza Saga or some draw 2 spells kind of soon. Let's play out Springleaf Drum. I don't think it's necessary to play Cage out yet. Those were some brutal mulligans. Hopefully I can come back from it, though. We'll see. I don't really have very powerful cards in my hand yet, so I'm basically playing off top decks. But I'll play Shredder, okay. Attacks for 1, okay. They don't have white mana yet. I assume they will soon, though. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just gonna go ahead and play out my hand. They'll get a Ledger Shredder Connive trigger, but I'll at least have a board. Alright, Shredder doesn't grow, they get rid of a land. I play Froggy. I play Sojo. Pass. Alright, cross your fingers for me. I really need to draw like Thought Monitors and Urza Sagas. But it taps 2 for Expressive Iteration. Okay. They put a Ledger Shredder in the graveyard. They exile a Bauble. They Bauble, they get a Surveil and a Connive. Still no Delirium yet, but they do have it once they pop the Bauble. Okay. Ledger Shredder's still a 1-3, which is kind of surprising. They also still don't have white mana, but they haven't wanted it because they've been getting rid of the fetches. There goes Sojo. Good lord. Another Mishra's Bauble. Okay. Well, there goes Breach. They get rid of that. Makes sense. They attack for 4. Okay. I don't know why I didn't block Ledger Shredder. If I'm being honest, I feel a little tilted right now, but it's fine. I should be at 16. Hopefully that won't matter. Let's attack for 2. I think they bobbled me. Yeah, they did, so they know about the island. I'm just gonna go ahead and play it out. Pass the turn. Alright, what you got, opponent? They have a full grip, I know that much. Jesus Christ. Well, unless I get, like, a very specific chain of draws, I think I'm gonna die here. I can't block for free with Ornithopter anymore, sadly. They get rid of Alpine Moon, that's fine. I don't have Urza Saga anyway. They have 2 cards in it. They have 2 mana, 4 cards in hand. They have white mana. They get rid of Grafdigger's Cage, makes sense. I assume next turn I'm dead because of an Underworld Breach. But we'll see. Jesus Christ. I'm getting my ass blasted this match. Alright, opponent attacks for 5. We don't have an option, so we're taking it. I draw Memnite. And I'm basically just dead no matter what. I'm gonna go ahead and play it out, I guess. I'll let them actually show me that they have the breach to kill me, but after that I'm definitely dead because they can just remove Ornithopter and bolt me. Maybe they don't have the breach yet since they have Shredder here. They have Engineered Explosives. Okay. Jesus God. I guess I'm still technically not dead yet. I'm taking 9. Okay. What do I draw for turn? I don't think there's anything that gets me out of it. There's an Ornithopter and concede. Alright. Well, the winning streak is over, sadly. Hopefully I can come back and keep going, though. I'll see you in the next one. Alright, round 6. I won the die roll, so I'm gonna take the play. I'm 4-1 right now. The safest way for me to possibly top 8 is to just keep sweeping from here, but we'll see what happens. I'm not sure about this hand, it seems a little unstable. I can go turn 1, Island Springleaf Drum. And then turn 2, maybe play Patchy. I have the Thoughtcaster Refuel.
I really need to draw another land. Or another 0-drop artifact would also be kind of fine. I'm wondering if it's worth... I don't know if it would be worth running out the Memnite and playing a second Springleaf Drum here. If I keep this hand, I could go Island Springleaf Drum, Memnite Springleaf Drum. Hopefully my opponent doesn't have turn 1 removal for the Memnite. If they do have turn 1 removal, I'm stuck with hoping to draw a land if I want to play Patchy and Thoughtcast. This hand's a little high rolly, but I think I'm going to keep it. I've been a little bit too on the mulligan train lately, and it's making me a little suspicious about mulliganing too much. Let's see what our opponent does. They're not playing a companion. That's kind of nice to see. I've played against lots of Giganta decks so far today. Also, I was thinking about last round some more. I think game 2, based on how I drew, I probably just wasn't going to be able to win anyway. But I think game 1, if I had sequenced things a little bit differently, I would have been able to win. I think it was an Arid Mesa that they played early. And I should have been able to figure out what deck they were playing based on that. And then on turn 2, I could have played a second tap land into a Relic. And then on turn 3, play Urza's Saga and probably just hold up cycling Sojourner's Companion. And I think that would have given me the route to win. Alright. No removal, please. What's our opponent playing? Opponent plays Saga. Springleaf Drum. Is it a mirror match? It could still be Hammertime. It's a mirror match. Oh my god. That probably means no removal, I assume. They could be playing Galvblast, I guess. They play Froggy. I think they have a better start than we do so far, but we have a Thoughtcast, and hopefully we can find an Urza Saga with it. Really, any untapped land I'd be happy with. Come on, untapped land. Yes. I don't want them to know that we have Aether Spellbomb. But now we're actually in the game, I feel like. We have a lot of mana. We could chain together a lot of Thoughtcast/Thought Monitors if we find them. But our opponent's gonna have Urza Saga beats that are pretty scary. So we'll have to see what happens. But it has 3 cards in hand. They did not play a land that turn. Or they did play a land. I'm an idiot. Right. We found all the Springleaf Drums. Second Patchwork Automaton. Ornithopter. What a weird game. Springleaf Drum. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're just gonna play Aether Spellbomb and pass here. I'm gonna use it to kill one of the constructs. We have a shit ton of mana. So as soon as we start chaining together Thought Monitors, we're in a great spot. Before that, things are still a little scary, though. I'm gonna hold up Aether Spellbomb instead of attacking in. Because if they make a construct and can make it large enough with a Shadow Spear, it's not gonna matter if I deal 6 damage or not. Sometimes Affinity players play main deck Pithing Needle, so I am gonna go ahead and Aether Spellbomb this away in response to the trigger. I assume they're gonna get like a Haywire Might or something. Maybe they're on Aether Spellbomb. Maybe Shadow Spear. We'll see. Get rid of you. The Welding Jar's a little annoying because it means they can use constructs to trade for Patchworks twice. Which might be bad.
If I draw cranial plating, I'm also in a good spot. Thought monitors, cranial platings, and probably Urza's Saga are what we want. If they get a haywire, might platings and sagas are a little bit worse, but still okay. If I can keep growing the patchworks faster than they grow their construct, that's also good. Sojourner's Companion, okay. I think they might be playing my list. That'd be cool. Do they attack for 1? No. We draw Nettle Cyst. That's a big ass boy. Damn, that's a big ass boy. Alright, what do I want to do? Do I just want to play the Nettle Cyst? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's pretty big. I think I just play out the Nettle Cyst. Like so. And I think I keep the Germ rather than re-equipping for now. Well, if I put it on the big patchwork, I could trade for the construct with a Shadow Spear on it and just kill it. I think I have to wait for now, though. Because I think I need to put it on Ornithopter to be able to swing in and kill them, potentially. We'll see. Hopefully they don't do anything too crazy on their turn. If they start playing Thought Monitors, we're in trouble. I think whoever gets the Thought Monitors first might be the one that wins this game. But I can really take advantage of the mana. So hopefully it's me. If I get a Haywire Might to get rid of their Shadow Spear, that's also great for me. Cranial Plating's definitely annoying. Good lord. They put Shadow Spear on the construct. Okay. So I can double block to kill the construct, trading it for Patchwork Automaton. But I'm basically just getting rid of Welding Jar, which kind of sucks. But I think I have to do it. Because otherwise they're just going to keep attacking it anyway. They have the mana to instant speed equip Cranial Plating too, so I need to be wary of my life total. Opponent's at 31, I'm at 18. I draw a Treasure Vault. I think I need to keep up all the blockers because of Cranial Plating. Well, they don't have quite lethal off Cranial Plating, I guess, because they have to leave back one of the creatures. They only have one card in hand. I might be able to attack in with the Germ and then equip. How many treasures can I make? It's 11. 1, 2, 3. So I can get up to 12 artifacts in play. I think I need to just pass here, unfortunately. I could chip in for damage, but it doesn't really make a difference, and I'm at a very unstable position. So I think just holding back blockers is the right way to do it. I'm in danger of the Cranial Plating plus Construct killing me with Shadow Spear. So I need to draw something soon. I probably would Haywire Might away the Shadow Spear instead of the Plating. But we'll have to see what happens. They attack for 11. Okay. I'm gonna block with just the Germ. And I'm gonna make as many treasures as I can. To make it that I trade for the Construct. Because the Germ trading for the Construct is good for me because the Nettle Cyst still has the +X+X. Opponent gains a shit ton more life. And we go down to 9, but we're not dead yet. And that's what counts. Opponent plays an Urza's Saga now, I think we might be dead. But we'll see, I guess. Jesus Christ. Yep. Yep. Okay. We need to leave back 3 blockers. We can play Frogmite. I can... I could attack in with Ornithopter. But it doesn't change their life total all that much, really. Yeah, like dealing 13 doesn't really make a difference here. So I think I just have to hold back the blocker. They can make a construct and then use the construct to re-equip cranial plating, so I have to be wary of that. Single bull bridge, okay. I think they might be playing my exact list. That's kind of cool, at least. Opponent does not attack. Alright. They're gonna get to make a construct, though. Come on, Thought Monitor, please, for the love of God. Alright, we find an Urza's Saga. If they're playing Haywire Might, they're gonna be able to just get that. Which sucks. But I think I have to just go for it, because otherwise the constructs are just gonna kill me anyway. So let's pass. I'm probably just dead here. Hey, at least I wasn't wrong about keeping that hand. It kind of worked out. This was a very powerful hand. I just wasn't able to keep up with the other affinity deck here. Not drawing Urza Saga until turn 7 is kind of rough in this matchup. Like, Jesus Christ, look how big this boy is. I assume this is going to be Haywire Might eating Nettle Cyst and just killing me. I'm pretty sure they can do that. Either Spell Bomb's also kind of fine. What you got? I assume I'm dead. Either Spell Bomb, yep. Second Cranial Plating, okay. I'm gonna let them deal the damage instead of scooping because it's a big ass boy. And that's kinda cool. Affinity Mirror is fun. Yep. Kill me. Do it. I'll be a good sport and block with everything. Yep. And I'm dead. Very sad. But we got 2 more games, hopefully, in this match. We have at least 1 more game. I'm gonna bring in Pithing Needle, double Haywire Might. Got Welding Jar and both relics. Pretty easy to sideboard here. I hope my opponent isn't playing Urkel's Recalls. That would blow me out for sure. But I just have to kind of cross my fingers about that. I'm gonna blame that loss on not finding any Thought Monitors or Urza Sagas. At least in a relevant time frame. Otherwise, that was a pretty decent hand. I will take the play. I will mulligan this. Okay. We have Thought Monitor. I think I keep all 3 lands, get rid of Midnight. That seems reasonable. And I'll just go ahead and run out the Midnight. I'm not concerned about removal in this matchup, like I said. They could have brought in, like, Dismember maybe, but I kind of doubt it. Tingleable Bridge, okay. Then playing Tingleable Bridge means they could have Haywire Might this turn. That would be unfortunate. but I think I just have to go for it anyway. I'm going to leave the Ornithopter in my hand because I might be able to grow Apache with it. And just go Urza Saga Spellbomb go. I mean, this means either way, there's a chance of an Affinity deck top 8ing. I don't remember if this player is on my list or if they're playing the Paseju list. We have almost the exact same hand, it looks like, though. We both have Spellbomb. We both have Saga, Memnite, tapped land. Second Saga helps a lot here, I gotta say. I like that. I'm probably gonna use this Saga to get a Springleaf Drum, if I had to guess. I'm gonna attack in with Might here because they can't attack back in. And I'm fine with trading them. They do trade. Okay. Them having Tankable Bridge is a little bit better than our Misfelt Bridge because they can Haywire Might. It costs them a construct to do it on Curve, though. So that's something at least. I might get Needle for Haywire Might. We'll see. I also like the idea of just getting Thought Monitor in play early, though. So I'm not certain. Pithing Needle, okay. Well, I'm definitely getting Springleaf Drum then. Whoa, wait a second. So I get Springleaf Drum. I can Ether Spellbomb away their construct, and then I can Needle Ether Spellbomb. That's something. That's kind of hot. I like that. I think that gives me enough tempo that's worth doing. Let's bounce you. Well, let's play out the Ornithopter. I want the extra damage here. Bounce you. Needle. Now the Needle isn't compromising anything that I have, which is a danger since we're a mirror. But I use the one of Ether Spellbomb, and I have him caught with the one of Ether Spellbomb. I suspect that we're playing the exact same lists. I guess I'll check. I hope my opponent gets top 32 and I do too, so I can see the what the proximity of our mirror is, or if it's playing the exact same thing. What does my opponent get here? Haywire Might is good. Pithing Needle on Urza Saga is reasonable. The Affinity Mirror match has got to be like my favorite mirror match that I've ever played in Magic. Just because it's so freaking weird and swingy. You make such huge boards, you go really tall, and then you get like a bunch of lifelink. They get Shadow Spear, interesting. Thought Monitor, okay. I can do that too. They play Sojo, so they're gonna have double blockers. We draw Memnite. I want to force them to block if I can. Misfelt Bridge, 9, 10. I can force them to block Attack, attack. Not with Ornithopter. I about suicided my Ornithopter into Thought Monitor. That would have been a shame. But it loses some life. My opponent also has a second versus Saga. We'll see how that goes. That makes sense. You want the Thought Monitors so that they can bounce off each other or trade for Ornithopter in case of cranial plating. So my opponent played that correctly. Alright, we're going to make a construct on their turn. And I assume we're going to get either Shadow Spear or Haywire Might with my last Saga trigger, assuming that I still have the Saga. Opponent plays an island. 4 cards in my opponent's hand. Alright, what you got, opponent? They have 4 cards. That's a lot of potential. Engineered explosives, what the fuck? Okay. That complicates things. I mean, it trades for their construct, I guess, but still. Opponent's at 2. If they pop EE, what happens? How do I win through this? Let's go ahead and make a construct since we're not doing anything else here. I'm pretty sure I have to eat their Shadow Spear with Haywire Might based on what's going on. Let's make a mana. If I get cranial plating, I'm in a decent spot. Shit. Alright, let's get Haywire Might. Let's Thoughtcast. Cranial plating, interesting. Interesting. That gives me hope. Shit. Let's attack with the boys. We're gonna trade the Thought Monitors. They're gonna get 2 constructs, be able to equip Shadow Spear. I assume they're gonna pop Engineered Explosives now, right? What? Okay. So they lose a construct. They make a construct. That was a weird order that they did that in. Thought Monitors trade. I'm gonna cast Frogmite, and I'm not gonna play Cranial Plating. I assume they're getting Haywire Might with Saga here, but they make a construct. Okay. If they do this wrong, I might be able to kill them with the Cranial Plating Instant Speed Equip. I think that's my main hope here. Pithing Needle. Do they Pithing Needle Haywire Might? Yes. Okay, so I think they're going to Shadow Spear on the construct. Fuck. Fuck. Wait. Alright, so they're going to gain 10. That puts them to 12. I don't think they have any more creatures, otherwise they would have played them out already. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. God damn it, I don't have lethal. God damn it, I don't have lethal. I still think the way I sequenced that was fine. The engineered explosives was really unexpected, though. And I'm sure that they know how the plating equip works. Just because they also play this deck. Well, that puts me to X2, unfortunately. Just slightly out of range for that one. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Hopefully we can keep winning. Alright, round 7. I'm 4-2 now. So I'm basically fighting for top 16. It's technically possible that an X2 gets into top 8, but I'd have to get really lucky with tiebreakers to be able to do it since I took my losses like medium way through the tournament. Alright, opponent's mulliganing to 6. I think this hand's fine, so I'm going to keep it. I can play turn 1 Saga. Probably get Springleaf Drum on turn 3 to play Thoughtcast with. I might just play out Gingerbread on turn 1 to use the mana. We'll see what our opponent's playing. Opponent plays Arid Mesa, cracks it. They're not playing a companion. Again, I think I played the last round fine. Maybe I should have mulliganed the hand in game 1, but it kind of turned out fine too. Opponent plays Esper Sentinel, interesting. I think this means Hammer. I'm gonna play Gingerbread. And I'm gonna offer the trade. Opponent does not take me up. I'm not gonna play out Ornithopter because of the Patchwork Automaton. I'd like to draw another land so I can start making constructs. Opponent plays Urza Saga and hits us. Okay, we draw Treasure Vault. Okay. Let's play Urza Saga. Okay. Alright, Mono was being crashy for a second there, so I just reset it. Let's attack for 1. Opponent's at 15. Play Patchy. Play Ornithopter. Alright, what you got, opponent? What? Okay, they misclicked for a second there. Are they gonna do anything, or are they just gonna make a construct this turn, I wonder?
They don't seem to have the cards that they need in their hand, so I don't really want to give them more options by thought casting here. But it goes to 14. Okay. We draw a Thought Monitor. Interesting. 4, 5, 6. I can play Thought Monitor off of a Springleaf Drum. That seems like a good deal. But it makes a construct. Makes sense. It's a 2-2. Not very scary right now. We'll get a Springleaf Drum. Up to 4 artifacts. Okay. Play Treasure Vault. Play Frogmite. Play Thought Monitor. Like so. We draw a Springleaf Drum and an Urza Saga. Let's go ahead and make the construct. Attack for 4. I'm probably going to get Haywire Might with this next Saga activation. We'll see. I can make a construct, and then if I let them draw a card, I can go Springleaf Drum into Haywire Might. It might be better to just get either Spellbomb or Shadow Spear here. We'll see what my opponent does. If I draw Cranial Plating, the game's gonna end pretty quickly too. But it makes a construct. I assume they're gonna get... Okay, they get Springleaf Drum instead of Hammer. Interesting. They fetch. Get a Plains. Well, there's less of a point in Haywire Might since they don't have a Hammer yet. They play Stoneforge Mystic. They have a Hammer in their hand. How can I kill them this turn? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can tap a mana, make a Shadow Spear, equip Shadow Spear to the construct that goes up to 9. Opponent's at 9. So I can force them to block. I think I might be able to force them to block with all of their creatures. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I still coincidentally have 9 to block with. So the issue is, if I go Shadow Spear, this becomes a 9, then a 10, 11. I swing for 11. They have to block with 4 to not be dead to that. Then they're taking 7, 8, 9, 8, 9. Yeah, they're dead. Okay. Just making sure. Get Shadow Spear. Shadow Spear up, my boy. Urza Saga. I'm just gonna go for the gold. Why not? They're not gonna block the Gingerbread anyway, so there's no point in doing anything with it. And let's just attack with everybody. So they're dead because they're at 9. Actually, maybe could have survived, but they blocked awkwardly there. And even if they survived, they would have had a really bad board and we would have gained enough life that we weren't dead yet. Alright, let's sideboard the same way that we did last time against Hammer. Cutting the Relics, Gingerbread, both of the Patchworks, Welding Jar, and 1 Thought Cast for 4 Metallic Rebukes, 2 Haywire Might, and 1 Pithing Needle. Pithing Needle is sort of a weird card in this matchup. It can hit Shadow Spear, and that's pretty decent. Or it can hit Colossus Hammer if they're playing a Pure Steel Paladin gameplay plan. And very occasionally you can hit Urza Saga, but usually we want to activate Urza Saga because overwhelming them with huge constructs is the way that we win this matchup. So more often
often than not, Pithing Needle hits Inkmoth Nexus against them, because that way we can stop them from having the really explosive wins, or possibly turn off a flying blocker and then get in with like a cranial plating. This hand seems reasonable. It's a little on the slow side, but we have Metallic Rebuke to protect ourselves. We have Tankable Bridge for Haywire Might, and we have an Urza Saga so we can tutor and make some guys. So, like, I would rather this Misvault Bridge be like a Springleaf Drum or a creature or something. But overall, I think this is fine. We'll keep. If they have a really fast hand, we die, but it's fine. But it plays a Rising Canopy into Springleaf Drum. Okay. Anything else? Ornithopter, okay. Nothing else. Okay. We'll just play Bridge Go. Opponent plays their Urza Saga. They play Stoneforge Mystic. Getting a Colossus Hammer. Okay. They play out Colossus Hammer. That gives us a clue that they're playing Pure Steel Paladin in their hand. Let's play Saga out. Let's play Plating. Unfortunately, we can't hold up Metallic Rebuke since we didn't draw 0-drop. Otherwise, I probably would have just played out the 0-drop and then counted on countering a Pure Steel Paladin. Alright, let's see if they have Pure Steel already. It looks like they might. Yep. Well. Core Outfitter. Okay, weird. So they're gonna hit us for 10. They can get Shadow Spear, I guess. They don't have any more cards in hand. They're hitting us for 11. We're gonna be at 9. We draw an Ornithopter. A little late, but okay. Urza Saga is very annoying here. They make a construct. Okay. Let's go ahead and make a construct as well in case they grab a needle. I assume they're getting Shadow Spear. Yeah. They can equip the Shadow Spear. Okay. They can swing for 11. We have to block the construct. Block the Stoneforge like so, and take 2. If we take 2, are we dead? 11, 13, -5, we're good. We're still in danger, of course, but they have 0 cards in hand. We draw Pithing Needle, that's interesting. Alright, I have to get Haywire Might and eat Shadow Spear while blocking something else. So let's play Haywire Might. Let's... What? 5. Play Pithing Needle on... I can pick either Horizon Canopy or Inkmoth Nexus. I think both of them are kind of fine. Inkmoth I'm a little less threatened by than them just drawing more cards. So I think I go for Horizon Canopy here. Let's play Misvault Bridge, Sojourner's Companion, equip Ornithopter with Cranial Plating, and pass. We can gain 2 life, which is crucial to us actually being able to survive here. If they attack with everything, I will block the Core Outfitter with Sojourner's Companion, the Ornithopter with the Ornithopter, the Construct with the Haywire Might, leave Stoneforge unblocked and then use Haywire Might to kill Shadow Spear. If they have Blacksmith skill, then that's fine. We're playing from behind anyway, but hopefully I get to untap Thoughtcast and then hold up Metallic Rebuke. And then I might be able to steal the game. Opponent is in the tank. I think that's a good sign for me. Again, we're still pretty far behind. But it at least gives me hope. Actually, maybe I eat the Colossus Hammer with Haywire Might because then the Ornithopter trades for my Ornithopter. I guess we'll see. The Shadow Spear plus the Construct is pretty threatening though, so I don't know. Maybe I should have needled Shadow Spear and then eaten Colossus Hammer. I think that might have made more sense. But either way, what's done is done, I guess. I don't really like needling Shadow Spear because in a spot like this, I really need to draw my own Shadow Spear. Opponent equips Shadow Spear to the Construct. Okay. They just attack with those. What does that mean for me? Because of how they did that. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I still can't quite kill this, but I can jump block the Ornithopter. I could double block the Construct. That kills my Ornithopter and my Sojourner's Companion, though, and that's pretty unfortunate. Actually, no, I can just go Haywire Might block here. Ornithopter block here. This shrinks by 2. Okay. Kill the Shadow Spear, which also is going to coincidentally kill their Construct because of how they attacked. I lose an Ornithopter and a Haywire Might, they lose a Construct and a Shadow Spear. I'm at 3. So I have to draw blockers or wait to remove Colossus Hammer. I draw Cranial Plating. Not exactly what I needed. Let's Thoughtcast. Shadow Spear, Aether Spellbomb. Aether Spellbomb bounces that. Let's play Spellbomb. Let's do what? Do I equip Cranial Plating or do I play out Shadow Spear? I think I'd rather play out Shadow Spear here. Hopefully, I can line up a situation where I can equip Shadow Spear and also Cranial Plating and make up for some of my life lost. Opponent attacks, 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 attacks. Okay, I'm gonna lead on Spellbomb, I guess. I don't know why they're attacking with the Ornithopter. They might have Blacksmith skill and be able to kill me with the +2/+2. Let's see what happens. It looks like... Are they making a Construct? They make a Construct. Okay, and they have something to play. They do have Blacksmith skill. Okay, I'm dead. That's fine. Alright, run it back. Come on, 6-2. I want to get at least top 16. After the 4-0 start, I got really excited. I'll be disappointed if I just lose out from here. The engineered explosives in the Affinity Mirror was brutal. But I can cross my fingers, and maybe if both of the guys that I lost to earlier sweep from here in both top 8, I might have good enough breakers to get in myself, as long as I also win both of these. But we'll see. 2 Affinity decks in top 16 would also be really cool to see. like if Affinity keeps showing up consistently in tournaments, the hate for it is going to get more consistent though. So we might kind of compete ourselves out of existence for a little bit. Because it's not like the format doesn't have the pieces to deal with this deck, it's just that people aren't running them. Like, when's the last time you've seen a Stony Silencer or Kataki? Or even Brotherhood's End, I don't see that much anymore either. My cat's meowing at the door. I think I'm gonna let him in and see if he wants to say anything on the mic. Caboose, do you want to say anything? No? You're just gonna sniff it? Okay. I won the die roll, or I guess I lost the last game, so I'll take the play. This hand seems reasonable. I wish this was green, but I'll keep it. Hey, Caboose. Let's go Misfall Bridge, Midnight, and pass. If I don't draw land, I'll probably just play Urza's Saga and hold up Sojourner's Companion to cycle. Oh, Caboose, you're so cute. You don't want to meow for me on microphone. The opponent goes Urza's Saga, Springleaf Drum, Ornithopter, Sigarda's Aid. Alright, that's probably the scariest possible opening that they could have. So that's a little unfortunate for us. We get to hold up Metallic Rebuke, so that's something, I guess. Let's pass. Hopefully they don't have any Colossus Hammers yet, and they're counting on the Urza Saga finding one. Alright, I'm gonna put Caboose back outside. Okay, opponent untaps, rolls up their Saga. They might just make a construct here, I guess we'll see. They play Inkmoth Nexus. Okay. They play Springleaf Drum. Interesting. So they could still just go nothing from here, I guess. Alright, let's cycle Sojourner's Companion. Let's get Darksteel Citadel. We draw a Frogmite. Okay. Well, we have blockers. We have blocker. I think I need to make this construct still. It's unfortunate that they're going to get two constructs out of the deal. They could kill me with Inkmoth Nexus if I don't do anything about it. That'd be really annoying. So yeah, I have to go Pithing Needle. I'm glad I caught that, since I didn't have any flying blockers. They had enough mana to crew up Inkmoth Nexus, put a Colossus Hammer on it, and then give it flying again. Let's go ahead and play out Haywire Might and both of the Frogmites. We'll see what happens from here. Our opponent had a really busted start this game. So unfortunately, I think that's going to screw me out of this X2 situation. But I'm going to keep trying. I'm not just going to give up. Alright, the opponent makes another construct. Okay. Well, they're thinking about it. If they cast something that I want to Metallic Rebuke, that's ideal for me because I want to be able to use as much of my mana as possible and not lose any tempo. I want to Metallic Rebuke this turn, and then make a construct, get a Springleaf Drum and Haywire Might something next turn. That's the way I can most efficiently use my mana, at least. Alright, opponent makes a construct. They search with Saga. They get Shadow Spear. Okay. Interesting that they picked that instead of Hammer. We're gonna take 8. If they cast Hammer, I'm countering that shit. Alright, thanks, homie. Countered. Dumbass. Trying to play your deck. What are you doing? Alright, we found a cranial plating. That's something, I guess. Opponent's at 28, though, and that's still pretty scary. We have to get a Springleaf Drum here so we can Haywire Might away Shadow Spear. Let's get Springleaf Drum. And I'm gonna do it now since we know they don't have Blacksmith skill. If they had mana up anyway, I probably would have held back the Haywire Might. So I could jump block a construct and then do that. But I think it's fine this way. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. They have 3 mana currently, 2 constructs. If they attack in with the constructs, I feel like I have to just kind of block it. I'm screwed if they do, and I'm screwed if they don't have Hammer. I just kind of have to do something. Yeah, like, I think they have Hammer here. But I think I just have to block like this. That way I'm not dead to 1 Hammer. Blacksmith skill, goddammit. Okay. How do I get out of this? Ornithopter, that is probably not the way that I get out of this. Let's play out Ornithopter. They didn't have a Hammer last turn, so I think I have to just bank on that still being true and try to trade one of these Frog Mites. For a construct token. If they have a Hammer, they can just attack in with both the Ornithopters anyway and kill me. Or deal damage to me, I guess. They drew Plains. Unless they were sandbagging that in their turn in their head for a really long time. In which case, you know, GG. But I think I have at least stonewalled them for the time being. If I find an Urza Saga or chain some draw spells together, I might still be able to get out of this one. But we'll see what happens. I have hope against my better judgment. What you got, opponent? Two mana, Pure Steel Paladin. That's scary. Attacks, attacks, attacks. Alright, I think they have it. Or at least it's, well, we don't know for sure. Let's see. Do they have a Hammer? They did not. Okay. We draw Metallic Rebuke. Interesting. What does that mean for me? I want to hold up Rebuke to keep myself alive. So we gotta pass. If I get another untapped mana, I can start attacking in with Ornithopter and then holding Frogmite back.
I have to counter that. That's a dude and also a hammer, so I might as well just counter it now while I can. Well, I'm glad I held up the rebuke. So I have 7 power I can attack in with Ornithopter. They can block it twice. That's not great for me. I really need to draw some way to come up the board better. Which one do I respect more, the Construct or the Beer Steel Paladin? I think realistically the Paladin is scarier. Cranial plating, interesting. I have to hold back Ornithopter now. If they find removal, I'm dead. If they find any kind of hammer, I'm dead. I have to block this construct with this Ornithopter, and then I have to hope that I draw creatures before they draw equipment. They find an Esper Sentinel, okay, that closes out the game for them in a few turns. This construct is almost big enough to survive the Ornithopter hit. That's a little scary. Really need to draw a Thought Monitor and change some stuff together. But we'll see if that can happen for me or not. Drawing a Saga here is also kind of fine because I can tap 3 to play Cranial Plating. And still be kind of satisfied. They don't attack. Okay, we draw Misfelt Bridge. I can't responsibly play this Cranial Plating because it's too likely that they draw something that kills me off of Esper Sentinel if I give them a free draw. I have to hope that they just keep hitting nothing. Marsh Flats, okay. I'm gonna take 1, block the construct, and I have to pray that I hit creatures very soon. Otherwise I am just dead. We draw. Thought Monitor, please. Treasure Vault. Opponent has 1 card in hand. They'll have 2 cards going into their next turn. I'll pay for Esper Sentinel. Do they have a Blacksmith skill? I don't know why they would cash it in here. They already know that I don't have any more cards. Okay. So Blacksmith skill kills me. Any hammer kills me. Alright. Chain of blockers after this. They play Ornithopter, okay. They hit me for 1. I'm at 1. Okay, come on, Thought Monitor, into more Thought Monitors, please, come on. Alright. A little anticlimactic. Very sad. I'm shooting for the 4-3 now. Man, things have not gone well since I was 4-0. Either way, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. I'll see you in the final round. Alright, final round. We won the die roll, so we're going to take the play. Hopefully that's a good sign. I would love to at least finish with a positive record of 5-3 here. I think that gives me a shot of getting top 32. 4-4 I can't imagine does, maybe if I get like really lucky and a bunch of people dropped. But like I said before, kind of sucks that I went 4-0 and then 0-3. Either way, this has been a really fun tournament, though. My opponent's playing 61 cards, oh my god. Alright, we're playing against yet another Kuldotha deck. This hand seems perfectly fine, so we will keep it. I wonder if this is the 61 card Tron deck that I remember seeing from a challenge a few weeks ago. I don't remember what the
suspect it might be that. Opponent mulligans to 6. And they keep 6. We're gonna go Mistfall Bridge, go. Opponent plays Tron Land Chromatic Star, so it looks like I was right. We're gonna go Urza's Saga. Springleaf Drum. Ginger Brute. And attack for 1. Opponent cracks Chromatic Star for a green. Plays Ancient Stirrings, okay. Getting an Urza's Mine from their deck. Playing Urza's Mine, and playing another Chromatic Star. We draw Ornithopter. Let's play Darksteel Citadel. Ornithopter. Springleaf Drum. And a Relic. And pass. If they have Tron here into KGC, we may be in trouble, but we'll see what happens. It looks like they don't have that yet. They go Sylvan's Crying. They're gonna have 3 mana. Hopefully they go Oblivion Stone pass. Looks like they are not doing that though. Right, let's Relic you. I doubt that that matters, but it's good Relic etiquette, just in case. We make a construct, we untap, we draw Treasure Vault. Let's make another construct. Let's get Welding Jar in case they have Oblivion Stone. Play Treasure Vault. Play Relic. Go to combat. Attack for 13. And I'm gonna go ahead and pop the relics. In my second main phase, it looks like our opponent has something to play though. Maybe, I don't know what they would have. Maybe Warping Whale to make a blocker. Yep. They block the 12. Makes sense. Let's pop a relic. I'd like to get some lower power creatures in play so I could hopefully threaten a KGC if they go KGC into Ensnaring Bridge. That'll do. Opponent plays Besage You. Plays Oblivion Stone, because of course they have it. Very annoying. Alright. We draw a Thoughtcast. Let's Thoughtcast now. Go to combat. Attack with the boys.
O-Stone. We Welding Jar and Construct since it's our biggest thing. Opponent takes no damage. We play Frogmite. We play Thought Monitor. We draw 2. Okay. Cranial Plating is interesting. I assume they have a lot of Tron payoffs since they didn't have Tron immediately. They play Sylvan Scrying. They get another tower. They play Expedition Map. Maybe they don't have any more Tron payoffs. That would be cool. They play Sundering Titan. I don't give a fuck about Sundering Titan. That card does not matter. They could, like, theoretically trade for a construct, I guess. But we can swing over it with Thought Monitor. Alright, now the question is, do I play Thoughtcast first? I think I do. I gotta be greedy, right? Damn it. Alright. Play Patchy. Play Ornithopter. Attack for 2. Let's attack with Frogmite as well. And the Construct. That way they're either taking 10 or they are blocking and taking 4, and it doesn't matter. And we gotta hope that they still just don't draw anything. Opponent takes 4 down to 14. What do we draw? And what do they draw? They get an Expedition Map cracked. They get another Urza's Tower. I really hope that they don't have an Ugin here, but it looks like they might. Yup. Why am I jinxing myself like this? Or are they targeting with Ulamog? Okay. I can still hit them with Thought Monitor, I guess. I'm not, like, quite dead. I'm gonna take 7. I go down to 13. Play Cranial Plating. Attack for 9. So I can jump block Ulamog and then possibly kill them the next turn. They might also go, like, card liberated, kill Cranial Plating, and then I can still kill them next turn. Just as long as they don't play another O-Stone and wipe the board. Because then I'm not dead immediately, but I'm fucked because I won't have any creatures and they have an Ulamog still. They're spinning their wheels. Hopefully they just get a bunch of lands in hand. That's what we can hope for. Maybe Worm Coil Engine would also be fine. Just as long as they don't remove the Thought Monitor and or the Cranial Plating. They get a white mana. Interesting. What is that for? Was it just a tap to do anything? Engineered Explosives on 2. Shit. Golos, okay. Opponents have 5. I think the Engineered Explosives kills me. Unfortunately. But you got that in hand. Please just be greedy and pop the E at the wrong time. That'd be so awesome. It's not happening though, god damn it. Alright. So what can I do here? I'm exiling 20. I'm going to block you. Take 7. I have to hope that I Thoughtcast into more creatures. I'm gonna just lose because I deck myself anyway, god damn it.
cast and see what we get. Yep, okay. Fuck. That was weird. I was right about what deck it was, though, so that's something at least. Alright, let's bring in Pithing Needle, 3 Damping Spheres. Let's cut both the relics. Shadow Spear. And Nettle Cyst. Play it like that. Alright, we'll take the play. This is very land heavy, but we have Saga and the possibility of doing it immediately with Springleaf Drum and 0 drops. So I think I have to keep this. I get blown out pretty hard by removal, but we'll see. Opponent mulligans to 6. Alright, let's go Saga. Okay. Springleaf Drum. And I'm just gonna go ahead and run out an Ornithopter. Maybe I should have run out Mimknight instead to maybe chip in for 1 damage, but hopefully it won't matter. I'm thinking that if they have Dismember, they can kill this. They have Haywire Might. Okay, that's a little annoying. I still get a Construct, though. They didn't play a Tron land on turn 1, so that's interesting. Let's play Darksteel Citadel. Mimknight. Okay. And I just gotta hope that I draw live for a little bit. Opponent plays Chromatic Sphere, okay. I assume they're going to Haywire Might during their turn, so that I don't get the Saga or the Saga Tutor or a second Construct. But we'll see, I guess. Yeah, let's make a Construct. Okay. They're letting me get another Construct. That's a little weird, but okay. So that's weird. Do I just Pithing Needle Haywire Might then? Or do I Pithing Needle something else and hope that they have to use Might to get rid of it? Because the Might's not really doing anything anymore. I don't have anything that the Might would be removing, really. Maybe I just go like Pithing Needle on Engineered Explosives or something. Or maybe I just go Welding Charts to protect the Constructs. That might actually make more sense. Let's do that. That way they could have Engineered Explosives or Oblivion Stone, and I can still have at least 1 Construct left over. Attack, attack. Opponent jump blocks with Haywire Might. Okay, cashes in for a Mistfall Bridge. I have more lands where that came from, believe me. I was more worried about the Haywire Might getting rid of a Damping Sphere or something if I drew it. Or Cranial Plating, maybe. Damping Sphere or Cranial Plating would both be fantastic draws here. Let's see what our opponent does. They crack Sphere. Play Ancient Stirrings. Whiff. You're playing a 61 card deck, you gotta whiff sometimes, right? Come on. Nope, they found another Tron land. I'm depressed. Expedition map, okay, so Tron incoming. 14, 15, 16, 17 damage is what I'm threatening right now. Pithing Needle, interesting. I think I just gotta go for Expedition map, right? Looks like a nature's claim, maybe. Noxious Revival, okay. Weird. There's no shortage of weird bullshit happening to me right now, I gotta say. At least my opponent is at, like, basically lethal already. It might have actually made a difference if I played the Midnight out on turn 1. Okay, I won anyway, thank God. I gotta beat this 61 card Tron deck. If I can't beat this, I'm gonna be demoralized. They play Noxious Revival. Like, come on. I gotta be able to do it. Noxious Revival with Kolos is kind of sick, though, I gotta say. Alright, opponent's keeping 7. My hand is weird. I can play a very early Thought Monitor. And then what I do after that just depends on how lucky I am. If I draw another 0-drop or a Frogmite, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and play Thought Monitor on turn 1. So I think I gotta keep this. I might keep the Springleaf Drum in my hand if I can't play Monitor immediately, just so I know that they're not removing it. Mistvault Bridge. Let's play out both the Memnites and the Mistvault Bridge. Pass. Opponent plays Power Plant. Do they have Natty Tron? I'm gonna be a little sad if they have Natty Tron, I gotta say. They did keep 7, so. Alright, Warping Wheel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Springleaf Drum. Ornithopter. Thought Monitor. What do we draw? Welding Jar, Springleaf Drum. Alright, we don't have a clock right now, basically. We have to draw something. Cranial Plating would be great. Damping Sphere would be okay. But I have to still find a clock after that. And hopefully we survive whatever they do on their turn. If they go KGC into Ensnaring Bridge, I can kill the KGC with 3 power. Garden Liberated. Okay. I assume that eats Thought Monitor. They could also just plus the card. That's not crazy. But I feel like removal's what you gotta use it for, right? Yep, they exile Thought Monitor. And I think I'm basically just dead now. We draw Urza's Saga, a little late, gotta say. Let's play it out, though. Attack Karn to stop him from down-ticking on Saga. Play out Drum. Pass. Alright, opponent, what you got? I gambled on an early Thought Monitor and it did not pay off, unfortunately. Opponent plays Ancient Stirrings. If I draw Damping Sphere, I still think I'm kind of in business at least. I find Chromatic Sphere with Ancient Stirrings. Okay. As long as they don't play another big Tron payoff here, I'm at least a top deck away from kind of turning it around. Ancient Stirrings, okay. Find an Urza's Tower. They play another Chromatic Sphere. Okay. Good lord. Yep. And Chromatic Star. Okay. Jesus Christ. I just want to know if I'm dead.
Urza's Saga. If I draw Pithing Needle, that'd be great. If I draw Damping Sphere, that's also fine, but I think he just nays the Damping Sphere in that scenario, and then he can do whatever he wants still. Noxious Revival on Ancient Stirrings. It's a little weird, but okay. Alright. What do we draw? Cranial Plating is also a good draw. Cranial Plating, Damping Sphere, Pithing Needle. Damping Sphere, okay. So if I hit Karn for 1, he goes down to 5. He goes down to 2 if he -3s. That still doesn't really make a difference. So I might as well just hit my opponent for 1. Hopefully my opponent will continue just spinning their wheels for a little bit and not do anything too impactful this next turn. Let's hit you. They have to use the Karn Liberated activation on Damping Sphere, I think. And then after that, we'll see how lucky I can get. Ancient Stirrings first, okay. They find an Ulamog that can play that. Bad news for us. They downtick on Damping Sphere, makes sense. So they Ulamog, getting rid of Urza's Saga. Midnight, I guess. Maybe Urza's Saga Ornithopter go away. So sad. Okay, they don't get rid of any of the creatures. I guess that's fine. What can I draw to get out of this, if anything? I don't think anything does it. Like, I could find Aether Spellbomb to bounce Ulamog, but then I'm still just dead. If I pass the turn, Karn can eat a construct or whatever else. Well, I guess we're ending at 4-4. Sorry, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video anyway. I had fun making it. It's definitely a weird one. If you're playing Affinity, I wish you the best of luck. It wasn't the best result as far as things that I've put out on the channel. Usually I do kind of decently in leagues and put out videos of that. But I still had a lot of fun. And I hope you guys had fun watching too. Let's see, is there anything else that I would change? I don't really think that it's right to play Engineered Explosives in the sideboard. That definitely seems like a weird pick to me, with all the 0 drops in the deck. Other than that, I don't think there's anything that I would change based on this league. I think we had some pretty weird matchups. Maybe I should have mulliganed that last hand against Tron because it only played Thought Monitor and didn't really do anything. I think that would be a reasonable decision to make. I got really tempted by the possibility of a turn 1 Thought Monitor, though. I definitely think I could have at least gotten one of those games against the Jeskai Breach deck if I had played a little bit differently and recognized immediately what they were playing. Other than that, let me know how I fucked up. I'm always curious to see if anybody sees lines that I don't. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.